Keeping track of things has long been an issue. When we look at the old clay tablets, we see that accounting was the original driving force behind both writing and counting. Then, shipping goods further developed the need to keep up with things. In the early days, humans set their own standards based on what they found in nature. Systems of counting and measuring were based on the number 12. It seemed to be the perfect number. After all, the number 12 often showed up in nature, and the common fractions were whole numbers. That is, the year was divided into 12 full moons, give or take a bit. There were 12 major constellations in the night sky, there were 12 cranial nerves, and women became fertile 12 times each year, unlike almost all of the other animals. 1/2 of 12 was the whole number 6, while 1/4 of 12 was 3 and 1/3 of 12 was 4. Many other common fractions were whole numbers too. Units of length were based on human body parts. For example, the hand, the foot, the cubit, the yard, and even the mile. The foot was further divided into smaller units that we call the inch, but the inch was divided into something that was even simpler. The inch was divided into a series of halves, because it is easy to divide something in half, and then half again and so on. But the French were not happy with this, and the French National Assembly decided to create a simple, stable, decimal system of measurement on May 8 in 1790. 12 men were assigned the task of coming up with a system of measurement based on the number 10. One would think that 10 men would have been assigned to the task, but the deliberation chambers had already been set up for 12 members. This is due to the old jury system being based on the 12 zodiacal signs. Members of the jury were selected based on their sign of the zodiac. This, it was assumed, would give the accused a fair trial. This did not work out so well for the French scientist Antoine Lavoisier, who was branded a traitor during the Reign of Terror in France. He was captured, tried, convicted, and guillotined within hours in Paris on May 8 in 1794. It was the French bishop, Charles Maurice de Talleyrand, who first proposed the idea of a better, more standardized system of measurement. It was determined that a standard unit of length would be established, and from it, other units of area, volume, and mass would be established. First, they tried establishing the length of the meter based on the length of a pendulum, with a half period of 1 second. When that did not satisfy them, they decided to measure the circumference of Earth and set the distance from the equator to the North Pole, passing through France, to be exactly 10 million meters. The details of this overwhelming task can be found in the book, The Discoverers, by Daniel Boorstin. Ultimately, the men who undertook this arduous task knew that their efforts were in vain, but they pressed on. Today we know that they missed it by 0.02%, or 1,966 meters, which is just 1.2 miles. This is not bad for some fellows who were using crude equipment and who never actually made it to the North Pole. On April 7 in 1795, the convention decreed that the new republican measures were to be henceforth legal measures in all of France. The metric system adopted prefixes, with Greek for multiples, and Latin for decimal fractions, and almost all of the world has followed the lead as set by a French bishop who said, "A woman will sometimes forgive the man who tries to seduce her, but never the man who misses the opportunity." Encourage opportunities and seize them when you can.